Hi guys, this is Emily Copelli for Gerda Steiner Designs, and for today's card I'll be using the Go For It stamp set. I started stamping my images on Strathmore watercolor paper using my archival ink in Jet Black, which is a waterproof ink. I will also stamp the grass image in my brush bunny stamp set to both sides of my gopher. I love doing this when I want to give my image a ground but still keeping the card or a portion of the card as one layer. Now die cut a tag out of my piece of paper. It is easier for me to center the tag with the image than otherwise. Therefore, I stamped my image first and then die cut the tag. To watercolor my images with my distress inks, I started wetting my critter. Then I added an even layer of color using my distress inks in Vintage Photo. Once I finish adding a wash of color to my gopher, we'll use my brush damp instead of wet and we'll add more concentrated ink to its edges instead of a very diluted ink. Then we'll eliminate any harsh edges using a damp brush. Keep in mind that I am not an expert in watercoloring. I'm just showing you how I got the results in my final card. So if my method do not work for you, feel free to keep doing your coloring however you prefer. Also, you might find that I do it a bit different from card to card. That is because I like to try to improve my coloring, so sometimes I try different techniques I learned in other videos. After quickly coloring the bow using my shaded lilac distress ink, we'll punch some 3/4 of an inch circles out of the glitter cardstock from the DCWV Pastels stack. I picked this cardstock because not only it has a beautiful color and shine, but also it goes perfectly with the shaded lilac I used in the bow. Now I'll take a 4-bar card base and we'll do some partial die cutting using the biggest circle from my circle die set from C6. To die cut only the bottom of it, getting a round edge in the front panel of my card. Now that my gopher is dry, we'll finish coloring my tag. We'll color the grass area using the Shabby Shutters Distress ink, and then we'll add some peeled paint, only where I want some shadows. I ended up not using the tattered rose you can see there. Then we'll add some Victorian velvet to the ears and nose of my critter. For the grass and the sky, I'm also wetting the area before adding the color. For the sky, we'll use the Victorian velvet as well as the shaded lilac distress inks, adding the pink to the lower area and the lilac to the upper area of the sky. I kept these colors pretty light. Now we'll stick some masking tape to the top of the back of my card base. This way the card base is not moving while I add the ink, and also I do not get any ink in the back panel of my card. Now we'll add some antique linen using the round blending tool. I'm keeping it darker on the bottom and lighter on the top. Then we'll remove the masking tape very slowly and carefully, keeping it in an angle. For the inside of the card, we'll use the Victorian Velvet Distress ink and we'll keep it only on the bottom area. You will be able to see this area when the card is closed. To bring a bit of the glitter cardstock to the top of the card, I also used it to die cut the reinforcement for the whole of the tag. I'm using my runner adhesive to stick it down, but you can also use your liquid glue. As you can see, I fussy cut the bow out of the present I stamped to use it in the head of my critter. This is a way to stretch my stamps, especially with this beautiful bow, which I just love. Now we'll use my Sakura glaze pen in clear for the teeth, nose, and eyes of my cute gopher. As I have mentioned before, I like to push it down to make the ink flow, and then I simply spread it to cover the whole area. While this dries, we'll finish the card base. For this, I'm adding some adhesive along the inside of the round edge. Then we'll position the glitter circles upside down along that edge. I'm not pressing them down yet. Also notice that I started with the one in the middle and worked my way out to the corners. Once I have them where I want them, we'll press them down firmly. Then we'll stick one on the corner and will cut the excess with my scissors. We'll use that piece for the other corner. We'll align it where I want it and we'll cut the excess again. Now we'll add adhesive to the upper edge of a piece of acetate and to the round edge of my card. Then we'll align the acetate with the bottom edge of the inside of my card and we'll close it. Here I already cut a piece of cardstock to fit the inside of the front panel and will stick them together to cover the mess inside of my card, making sure that you cannot see it from the front. Now we'll take a piece of my hemp cord in a natural color and we'll attach it to the tag I created, making sure the strings are straight. Then we'll tie a bow on the top of the tag. We'll keep adjusting it until I like how it looks. Here I'm stamping my sentiment from the Just Sentiments stamp set using my archival ink in jet black. I already glued the tag to the card and I'm cutting the strings a bit shorter. And this is my card all finished. This is a great way to decorate the inside of your card at the same time that you decorate the outside of it, since the inside is part of the design in the outside. I also loved how the round scalloped edge turned out. It looks like a flower, which I think goes great with the gopher, but you can also use the same idea with a straight edge. This is a way to have pretty much every shape you want with an scalloped edge without having to buy an extra set of dies. Remember that I always link the supplies I used in my blog. Here are 3 more videos that you might enjoy. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!